What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my first impression on this picnic banner that we're getting tomorrow, and I'm also going to be giving you guys my stat speculation of these, so let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with them. So the first unit we have on this banner is Flora. So Flora got an alt. I was definitely not expecting that. I did marry her in my revelations file. Honestly, I really didn't like Flora at first, but then she kind of grew on me, and she also has the same voice actress as Cordelia, so she is a red dagger armor unit. We didn't really have any kind of unit in that category. The other colored dagger armor that we have got is Kagero, Halloween Kagero specifically. So red color is definitely going to be really helpful because there are going to be a lot of green threats in something like Arena Assault, Arena in general, and there are really powerful green units in the game, so red color is definitely pretty nice in that regard. And she's got her preferred weapon, yeah, that's right, a preferred dagger, which is effective on beast units. So Kanegas didn't even get his bonus week in Ether Raids yet, and they already have beast effective weapons. Because this is a legendary weapon and it's on a seasonal unit, only few people are gonna be able to really use this. From my experience, beast units aren't really all that hard to take out outside of like Kanegas, who's really bulky and is colorless, but even then, like, you could easily enemy phase Kanegas if he's not running something like Bolt Fighter, and I've not really seen too many Kanegas running Bolt Fighter, at least in tier 21 arena as of yet. So the hardest part of beast units is especially Tibarn. Tibarn is really powerful unit and really annoying in Ether Raids, and he's not really all that hard to take out, in fact, but he's just hard to deal with when he initiates combat on you, so that's the problem. But still, having an effective weapon against beasts is definitely going to be giving her a niche in the entire game, along with her sister, of course. And this weapon gives her +3 attack, so she's definitely going to be more oriented towards her attack. And at start of combat, this weapon checks the visible resistance of Flora with the enemy's visible resistance. So stuff like Fortress Defense Res and Fury are definitely going to be really helpful for proccing this effect, and it reduces foes' attack and defense by 50% of the difference between their stats during the combat, and this can go up to -8. So it's kind of like Vassal's Blade and Giga Excalibur, except for the fact that this is a debuff instead of like a buff that the unit is going to be getting during the combat, and this applies to two stats of the enemy, which is attack and defense, and it goes up to -8, unlike those two weapons. So this can definitely be really powerful if you do give her enough resistance. So resistance is going to be really important aspect with this weapon, so that you can do more damage and receive less damage. And once again, it has got the same dagger effect, which is the debuff, and she's got Iceberg, which is of course going to be pretty nice with her high resistance, and a slotty skill, which is Ether Raids exclusive to actually Ether Raids defense specifically. So if you're defending in Ether Raids and if a unit has got this skill, then you get the in combat buff depending on the structures you have got, the defensive structures, and it does not count the ornaments. You could go to Ether Raids, place and remove option, and you will see defensive structures, and you can have up to 5 structures there. Fort is going to be a permanent one, so it's talking about defensive structures specifically, not the ornaments and stuff like that. So if you have got 5 or more than 5 defensive structures, then you're going to be getting +10 to your attack and resistance. If you have got 4 defensive structures, you're going to be getting +7, and if you have 3, then +4, and if you have 2 or less than 2, then you're just going to be getting a measly +1 boost during the combat. So this definitely incentivizes people to build an Ether Raids defense team if they're going to be using this skill, to have their defensive structures in a really hard to get spot with a map like Abandoned Castle or Spring Breeze, you know, stuff like that, where you could block your defensive structures and make it really hard for the enemy to destroy them, so that you can get this buff. And this can definitely be a really powerful thing for like Fire Emblem teams who run Ward Flyers, you know, stuff like that. They can be really bulky with this, and you can also have this on an armor stall team, although I've not really seen many armor stall teams for weeks now, like with stuff like level 4 healing tower, Winter Erica, you know, full ward armor, you know, stuff like that. I haven't really seen that, but you know, if you want to run that kind of team, then yeah, this can definitely be really helpful. So till now in the game, we have got 4 skills which are really influential in Ether Raids, you know, Upheaval, You've got your disarm traps, you've got this skill, and also a skill on Lukas. So yeah, like compared to all of these skills, this one is definitely going to be the most powerful one. But still, you know, it is going to be inconsistent in the regard that if the enemy is able to destroy these structures, then you're not going to be getting as much of a defensive boost. But there's definitely ways of playing around that and ways of building an Aether Raid's defense team. So this is mainly useful for Aether Raid's defense. So you actually cannot even use this yourself. This is just going to be used by the AI. Because the thing is that you don't really need these kinds of skills to reach your 21 or even maintain like top 3k or top 1k. So I don't know why they just keep pushing these kinds of skills for Aether Raids. They're really pushing Aether Raids as a game mode a lot, if you could notice, over like past couple of months. And the more they push this game mode down everyone's throats, people get pushed away from this game mode even more. You know, a lot of people do dislike this mode and they do have their reasons. I can definitely understand where they're coming from, because it can definitely get really stressful and the stakes are insanely high compared to any other mode. So I'm not really a big fan of these kinds of Aether Raids exclusive skills. So it largely depends on your team composition, but you still don't necessarily need to pull the skill to reach tier 21 or maintain top 3k or top 1k in Aether Raids. So yeah, that's my opinion on this. Definitely the like better Aether Raid skill that we have got out of the 4. And we have got Bullfighter as a slot B skill on her, so she's definitely going to be slow. She's got Armor March as a slot C skill, and she's going to be triggering her Iceberg here. So she's able to get 19 points of extra damage with Iceberg, so this means that she at least has 38 resistance at base, and she doesn't really have any kind of skill or anything which is going to be boosting her resistance. And I did calculate this attack based off on the generic these green enemy mages, and calculating off of their defense, and I'm considering that she's got the -8 debuff on this enemy during the combat. So after calculating that, I think she's gonna be having like 53 attack during this combat to do this much damage to this green mage, 51 damage. So after you subtract everything, she ends up at 36 base attack if you remove like the 17 might dagger which she has got. And I think she's gonna be slow. We do know that she has got 38 resistance, she's got 43 HP, and I think she's gonna be having somewhere around 31 defense. So she's definitely gonna be the min-maxed armor unit, even more min-maxed than Halloween Kagero. She does have more resistance, and having more resistance is definitely gonna be really useful in Aether Raids for sure. So yeah, that's Flora. And then we have got Lukas. So this also has Shadows of Valentia alts. So I'm really excited about this. So he is a Lance armor unit. I mean, he already is an armor unit with his original version, with the amount of defense he can reach. But still, and these units don't really look like armor units. You know, once again, but name a better duo. You know, seasonal units and armor class. You just cannot. So yeah, he's also an armor unit, Lance armor. And he has got this Luncheon Lance Plus, which is basically Shiro's Bright Naginata, because it has got sturdy stance built into it, but it is going to be inheritable, unlike Shiro's weapon. So he's in a dire need of a weapon refine, because his preferred weapon is heavily outclassed here, because this weapon can actually be refined for more defense and also resistance if you want to run something like distant counter. So he has got pivot, you know, pretty good skill for armor units, and it's especially really good for Aether Raid's offense if you're going to be using an armor unit in your offense. So yeah, he has got his slot skill, which is basically an offense version of the Flora skill, but I think the defensive version for the Aether Raid's defense is much better than the offensive version, because this requires you to break the enemy structures, and as I said before, you know, many times, like, the team composition are going to be in such a way that these kinds of structures are going to be behind and really hard to reach. So in that case, getting this kind of +10 attack and defense buff consistently is going to be hard. And this could probably be useful on Gale Force unit, but then again, like, you don't really want to overdo the attack, because you might just one-shot the unit instead of getting like the Heavy Blade cooldown twice to trigger Gale Force with a slaying weapon unit. So yeah, this is not really all that good for offense in my opinion, because it requires you to specifically go out of your way to destroy these structures, and many times you actually do not want to destroy the enemy structures, you know. There's really no need. Some of these structures don't really pose as a threat, to your offense team depending on what kind of offense team you've got. So in that case, you know, it doesn't really matter much many times. So in my opinion, the defensive version of the skill on Flora is better. And finally, he's got Wary Fighter. He's just gonna be destroying this Lance unit. This guy is like a 3-star Lance Knight, so it's kind of hard to calculate any kind of stats, but I think from what I've done, you know, I could see his 51 HP, so he has got that. And I'm expecting him to have 40 base attack, really low speed, amazing defense, kind of like his normal version, and having more resistance. So you could run a fantastic Berkut Lance set on him, and I really have this feeling that he's gonna be a power crept version of FE. You know, Brave Hector is much better than FE and pretty much everything, but I still feel like Lukas is definitely going to be having more stats than FE, obviously, because of the BST, and it's just going to be a better version of FE. I feel like that's the feeling I'm getting, so that's why I've got this kind of stat spread. So yeah, this is something I'm expecting on him, you know, 40 attack. We do have Gwendolyn and FE as a pretty good 3-star, 4-star options for Arena. So mainly people are going to be pulling for Lukas if they really like him. Because you're not going to be able to plus and merge him for Arena, obviously. So yeah, that's the thing about him. And then we have got Genny. So I really like Genny. When I saw Genny, I thought the last unit on this banner would be Sonia, because in her supports with Sonia, she mentions that Sonia looks quite a lot like her mother, who used to abuse Genny. So I was really expecting that, but unfortunately, no Sonia alt. So Genny is here as a cavalry healer. I was really hoping that she would be some kind of mage cavalier, because, you know, she could use these spells. But another cavalry healer, we did receive quite a few of them in Nearest Levitain. Then we also had Maribel, like months back. And we also had Brave Veronica, of course, which a lot of people do pick as their free summon, and she's like the most popular pick out of Choose Their Legends 2. We also got Bruno, who's really defensive. So she's got this new weapon, Toasty Skewer Plus, and this is a really good supportive weapon for Ether Raid's defense, for Arena cheerleading. You know, it's gonna be fantastic, and in general. So this weapon has somewhat of a bracing stance skill built into it, which can support the allies. So basically, in the enemy phase, if the allies within 2 spaces get attacked, they receive +3 defense and +3 resistance, and that's really amazing support to be used with enemy phase units. You want to heal them so that you can have them at full HP, or be in the quick riposte range, be in the vengeful fighter range, special fighter, stuff like that. So healer is definitely going to be a pretty nice thing with them, and having this kind of defensive support is definitely going to be helping them a lot. She's got Physic Plus, she did have this on her normal version as well. Fire Flood Bomb Plus, really good for arena scoring, and it does give +6 to attack and resistance once you use it. Wrathful Staff, because she was the original Wrathful Sheep that we got, and defense opening. So yeah, we have got speed opening, attack opening, res opening, and defense opening. So the family of this skill is complete now at this point, and she's a fantastic support unit. She can provide the defense buff from this, she can provide the resistance and attack buff from her special, and she can provide the enemy phase drive defense and drive resistance support to her allies. So really good defensive support unit. She doesn't really give the speed buff, so she's mainly there to be paired up with a bulky unit, an enemy phase unit, and stuff like that, who needs to have resistance, attack, and defense. That's pretty much it for most of the enemy phase units. So that's Genny. We don't really have much to speculate her stats on. We just have her HP. So I'm expecting her to have similar stats to her normal version, just having lower BST because she's a cavalry healer. So expecting 35 attack, 35 resistance, and 20 defense and speed. And we do see 35 HP. So I'm expecting roughly this kind of stat spread on Genny. Slow healer with high attack, high resistance, stuff like that. She just destroys this Lance Knight. The final unit is Felicia. Her voice line is so good. Felicia is also another unit that kind of grew on me when I've played Fates. Everyone was really criticizing her voice acting when Fates came out. And eventually people kind of stopped because the voice of Felicia kind of grew on them. Kind of like it happened to me. So I don't really see many people complaining about Felicia's voice actress. She's a fantastic voice actress. Voices Katria, Satsuna, and Marissa as well. So she's an axe armor unit. Once again, a really saturated class. We have a ton of axe armor units in the game, but Felicia brings something new to the table, which is a beast effective axe. You know, you couldn't give this to her at the same time when you release a bunch of beast units on the banner. You know, that was definitely not an option. Giving a beast slaying weapon to Ice Tribe members like Felicia and Flora definitely makes sense. They have no connection to beast units. Beast units are so like surface level in Fates. They don't really have much much importance in the story outside of like 1-2 chapters. That's basically it. Kaden is pretty friendly, and Keaton is also quite friendly. The only beast they know is King Garen, basically. But even then, he's not an actual beast unit, because Ice Tribe really hates Garen. So I guess that's why. I don't really know. I'm just trying to make things up. She has got this blue squirrel in her hand. So she definitely took out Mordecai. Yeah, you know, Mordecai was released on the last banner, you know, having some squirrels on his hand. And now here we have got Felicia. So it makes sense. She just knocked out Mordecai for no reason. Wow. So she's got this legendary weapon, kind of similar to Flora, but of course this got 16 might because it's a melee range weapon. And this gives her +3 speed. And once again, like Flora's weapon, it compares the visible resistance of Felicia with the enemy's visible resistance. So once again, Fortress Defense Res, Fury, you know, stuff like that, which can increase your resistance, is definitely going to be helpful. She gives attack and speed debuff based on 50% of the difference between their resistance. So this is attack and speed with Felicia, and it was attack and defense with Flora. Flora is more geared towards attack, and Felicia is more geared towards speed. Makes sense. They are kind of like that in Fates. Felicia doesn't really hit all that hard. She has got Glacies as her special. So Glacies is of course really good with her high resistance. Speed defense bond, that's definitely pretty useful with special fighter. And I'm kind of speculating that she's not going to be having very high defense. And special fighter does make sense on a fast armor unit. Those kinds of units are the best users of that, or if you want to run like special fighter and quick riposte, you know, that's another option. But I think Felicia's more gonna be on the speedy side because of her weapon and how she is in her normal version in Fire Emblem Heroes and also Fates. So kind of expecting her to be fast, and she's got close guard. So she's gonna be taking out this Lance Knight, and she triggers her Glacies, does 45 damage. So she's able to do 28 extra damage with Glacies, and to do that much damage, she needs to have 35 resistance at base, and she doesn't really have any kind of skill which is increasing her resistance. So that's the thing I'm expecting on her. And even though this is a 4-star Lance Knight, she's only doing 17 damage. That's definitely kind of low. I mean, this guy probably has, like this generic enemy probably has somewhere around 35 and 38 defense. So I don't really think she's going to be having a very stellar attack. Kind of expecting her to have 32 attack, kind of on the lowish side. Having really high speed, kind of like Valentine Ike. Having really high resistance, as I speculated, we can see the HP. And not really expecting her to have a lot of defense. So that's why she probably has speed defense bond to kind of patch up her defense. So that's the stat spread I'm expecting on Felicia. A speedy axe armor unit. We do have Amelia in form of that, and her weapon refine definitely helps with that as well. But Felicia has the weapon which is effective on beast units, and also has this weapon which can give the in-combat debuff to the enemies depending on the resistance stat difference. So that is Felicia, and yeah, we're gonna be getting a new paralog. So this banner is definitely gonna be a pass for a lot of people unless they really like these units. You know, I mentioned Lukas. You probably do not want to pull him for arena or anything like that. You're much better off building up Wendy or Effie. And Felicia and Flora do have their niche of being beast slayers. Felicia does face a lot of competition being an axe armor unit, and it's really up to you if you want to have that kind of speedy axe armor unit or not. And Flora is definitely going to be really powerful with her high base attack and also that weapon, which gives her even more attack. And beast effective damage is going to be really helpful. And Genny is another cavalry healer. She's going to be facing a lot of competition, but she has got solid defensive support staff, which definitely is pretty cool. So here we can see Leo. He's going to be a Tempest Trial reward. and we did receive his artwork as well on the official side, I believe. And his art is pretty good, so at least that's that. And he's a Green Tome Cavalier. We don't really have a lot of those as an easy option. The only one we have got is Cecilia. That's pretty much it, and she was a launch unit. So really happy about them giving us a Green Mage Cavalier, because that's not a very saturated class type, at least for accessible units. We do have, you know, World of Thracia, Olwen, Gunthra, Mist, Valentine Mist, you know, stuff like that, Valentine Lina. But those are really rare units, so that's why kind of happy that Leo is that. But we'll have to see about his stats. It looks like he has got a 2-turn cooldown special, probably gonna be something like Moonbow, Glimmer, Reprisal. I hope not. Or Noontime. So this is definitely Lunatic map, I think, because Genny has got 35 HP and here she's got 38 HP. So this is probably not the final HP of Leo. He probably has like 36 HP, I'm thinking. So yeah, that's Leo. He's gonna be a Tempest Trail reward on Sunday, 21st of April. And that's my first impression on the stat speculation. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with them, and let me know if we're gonna be summoning on this banner or not. And if you enjoyed, then please be sure to leave a like, it helps me tremendously. And make sure to subscribe for more Fire Emblem Heroes content, and please be sure to hit that notification bell and click on always so that you can get updates to my videos whenever I upload, because YouTube sub box is about as functional as Shiro's Bright Naginata. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.